have fun today.
Hi, Kyle Dillon, Chief Executive Officer of Onion Lake. We're really looking forward to this program, and hopefully we have 18 successful applicants by tomorrow or in the near future.
Okay, so the way we're going to approach it this afternoon is we're going to provide you a quick overview of what the community peace officer is and how it differs from a security officer versus a bylaw officer versus a police officer, because it's important to understand the differences between the roles and how they interact with one another. After that, we'll touch on what the recruitment process that several of you have started at this point looks like, leading up to the training course, which right now is tentative to start, I believe, November 25th. And following that, we'll provide an overview of what that course entails, what you could expect in Lac La Biche, and where we go from there. So just at the start here, I suppose everybody around the nation's probably seen security guards at some point or another, whether on nation or in Lloydminster or elsewhere, right? Okay, so what most security officer positions are is they are quite often working for private companies and protecting private property. An example of that would be if you went to Walmart, for instance. Walmart will have loss prevention officers, and what they are is agents of those properties. So in Canada, we have something called the Criminal Code. That's where, basically all the laws from things like theft and assault and all the way up to murders and whatnot is where they're defined, and it talks about what the punishments are if those crimes are committed. It provides two classifications of people within the Criminal Code. There's peace officers, which are broadly defined in the Criminal Code. It includes people such as the police, obviously. It can include sheriffs. It includes people that preserve the peace by way of an appointment. So that's where a community peace officer would come into play. And they have special authorities in the Criminal Code that essentially allow them to make investigative detention, so they can detain and arrest people for investigation or ultimately as a result of found committing various criminal offenses. A security officer works on a different provision, and that's the same provision that all citizens have, and it's commonly referred to as a citizen power of arrest. And so a citizen, any citizen, if they are victim of a crime that had, that they catch occurring, are able to make a citizen's arrest. That's the same authority that the security officers will use when they're in a Walmart, because Walmart, as its own entity, can employ people to represent its interests. In this case, that would be the security officers. Now, the nation and some municipalities hire security and employ them to essentially protect public property and persons. And I think that's similar to what happens right now around Onion Lake, is there is a security contingent. I understand a few of you folks are members of the security team here, and as you know, right, it's you patrol the community, you observe and report things that are occurring, but for the most part, you're not involved in arresting people or issuing violation tickets for provincial offenses or criminal code charges. That's where the peace officer program starts to differ. So under the peace officer program, you're starting to move more towards the police officer side of training and authorities. So what the peace officer appointments allow you to do, so first off, Onion Lake is unique, similar to Lloydminster, who's also unique, but they're the only two municipalities I can think of that border the Alberta-Saskatchewan provincial boundary, which means that the nation crosses both jurisdictions. So, for instance, when a person's on the Alberta side, it's Alberta provincial laws So speeding tickets and stuff like that would be issued under Alberta's Traffic Safety Act, whereas if you're speeding on the Saskatchewan side of the border, it's going to fall under the Saskatchewan Highway Traffic Act. And so what's a little unique about that is the officers that are ultimately going to work in Onion Lake, similar to the RCMP, because the RCMP faced the same challenge, is they have to be able to navigate both provinces' legislation and the laws that are applicable to both of those communities, which will ultimately lead to you having a stronger knowledge than somebody that would work in the Saskatchewan or just the Alberta jurisdiction. So it's interesting in that regard. Federal laws like the criminal code and controlled drugs and substances, those things, those are federal. They apply across all provinces. So, but that's not the mandate of the community peace officers. If the community peace officers come across a criminal offense, certainly they are able, if they are believe that the safety circumstances are appropriate, and they're not putting themselves at undue risk, they are able to intervene, arrest, and ultimately pass the offender on to the police of jurisdiction. In this case would be the RCMP. However, oftentimes it's prudent just to be a really good witness in those cases too, and observe and report and pass real-time information to the RCMP, who can respond with more appropriate use of force options if necessary. But you do have a number of authorities that are issued under provincial statutes, and what provincial statutes are lower level laws. So these would be things like anything to do with a motor vehicle, so anybody that's traveling on a highway, speeding, impaired driving, no insurance, all of those sorts of things, trespassing, loitering, where these authorities have benefits over just being security, for instance, is they're particularly beneficial when dealing with people from off reserve. So I'm sure that with the provincial highway passing through Onion Lake, and I've heard some stories from the security team as well, that there has been challenges at time with people from off the community causing grief within Onion Lake. And it's very difficult to enforce ban bylaws, for instance, on people from off reserve. So the provincial statutes provide a alternative approach in many cases to deal with people that are causing problems and concerns from outside the community. The other role that community peace officers play, and it's really tied to their name, right? Community and peace officer, is it's not all about enforcement. Frankly, it's a lot about community engagement. It's about building good relationships with the youth, building relationships with the elders, having a good understanding of what are the challenges and facing the community from a public safety perspective, and being a strong liaison between the RCMP and the community members themselves. I'm sure growing up around here, you've seen several RCMP officers kind of come and go over the years. And, there's advantages and disadvantages behind staff turnover. But one of the key opportunities, and that the RCMP really embrace from my experience, is when they can build a strong relationship with the peace officers, who can really serve to provide community context. They can help provide understanding as to where problems in the community are occurring, what some of the history is behind. Lots of things don't happen overnight. It's a build-up of circumstances over many years, and providing that context can be really important and really valuable to help identify how the police respond to things. So the Community Peace Officer Program brings extra authorities to members of the nation that are working for the nation as community peace officers. You'll see out front here, and we can give you a tour a little bit later, what the patrol vehicles look like for community peace officers, or in almost always identical to what the RCMP will be driving. Obviously, specifically deckled as peace officers. They have red and blue lights and sirens. There is authority to respond to support the RCMP at emergencies upon their request. You will support emergency services as far as the fire departments go at scene security and traffic control, responding to collisions, those sorts of things. So it's an opportunity to make a definite impact on your community and be a valuable resource for the other emergency services as well. So with that said, the peace officer programs, Saskatchewan and Alberta, in Saskatchewan they call them community safety officers, and Alberta they're community peace officers. I believe this program, and Steve, correct me if I'm wrong, but it is being set up under the Alberta framework, and we're working with Saskatchewan to parallel kind of the authorities and the training requirements and stuff that to apply in both provinces. It should be pretty straightforward because the Saskatchewan program is actually modeled after the Alberta program, and Lloydminster is in a similar situation, and they operate under the Alberta program. So with that, there's a lot of requirements that have to be met, and that's why Steve's on board right now, is to get a program even going, you have to go through a big application process as an employer and have to show that these are the policies and procedures that are going to be in place. They have to be compliant with a big policy manual that the province has. And within that policy manual, it specifies things such as what the uniforms have to look like, what the equipment issued is, what authorities you can have, and then most importantly, what training is required. And that's where our team comes into play is we've asked those that have applied already we gave you a form and you've had to go, and if you haven't done it yet, you'll need to go get your criminal record check and your vulnerable sector check from the RCMP detachment. That's not because Chris wants you to go get it, that's because the province says you have to go get it. So that's why we make those requests. Same with the fitness test, to which we're going to do a walkthrough of today, and tomorrow we'll allow the opportunity for people to run it to see what's going to be involved with that. By the end of the training course, there's a certain time you have to get on that fitness test, and again, that's not a Chris or Steve are requesting this. It's one of the provincial requirements in order to get the appointments. The additional steps there will involve, we're going to do a quick interview with candidates to just see what your understanding of what the job you think you're getting into is, and how it lines with like your personal goals or ambitions. Additionally, the province will conduct their own kind of small background investigation to make sure, I'll just put it out there, right? As everybody's aware that the police have pretty stringent recruitment and screening requirements. The peace officers a little less so, but they're still pretty, because you have access to weapons such as OC spray and batons, shotguns, and you're authorized to carry those while you're interacting with the public, and you have the ability to take people's liberties away, and you have access to sensitive law enforcement information through the what's called CPIC. It's a national database of where people's criminal records and stuff are held. They want to make sure that not just anybody's getting access to that sort of information. So following not just the criminal record check, but ultimately when your peace officer appointments are being processed, there's a review of policing systems from like the city of Edmonton, the RCMP, the city of Calgary, and other jurisdictions to say, if you've had a criminal past of drug dealing and those sorts of things, and particularly if it's been in recent years, those will be flags. And if anybody has any concerns about something that could flag in their background, please just come and talk with Steve or myself in the next couple days, or we'll leave some contact information too, and you can reach out later or contact us through Lydia, and we could just have a discussion as to whether we think it's something that would be a problem for you or not. For most people, this is a non-issue, but it does occasionally come up, and I just want to let everybody know that there is.
Real quick, it's better to let us know right away than us find out. If we have to search to find it, it's probably not good. If you just tell the truth, I had to take a polygraph. I won't say how long ago because you know how old I am. And you just tell the whole truth, because then you don't have to worry about trying to remember your lie. And believe me, the polygraph will tell you if you're lying instantly.
So, not to scare anybody, again, it's not a big barrier for most people. The other thing that they specify that we can have a conversation about as well is they have a high school or a equivalency requirement. Now, some people don't finish high school and they later on go to a college course or something as a mature student. And if they pass that course, we can sometimes use that course as an alternative. If somebody falls into a situation, again, where there's not a high school diploma or there's not an equivalency or a college program, again, reach out to us and we'll have a conversation to see what that looks like. And additionally, we can then try to work through what options might exist in regard to that. One of the reasons that they ask for the academic side there is because the course itself has some academic components, right? I'll jump into that now. What does the peace officer program look like from a training perspective? Well, it's a 12-week course. We mentioned it's expected to start November 25th-ish. It's whatever the Monday is, the 24th or 25th. And this course is going to be a little unique because it runs over the Christmas break. So we don't want to keep people away from their families over Christmas. So we're going to shut the course down for a 2-week period over the Christmas break. And then we'll reconvene the course in early January where we'll finish it off. What happens is you'll come to Lac La Biche. If none of you have been there yet, it's a beautiful place in the winter, much similar to Onion Lake, I'm sure. But we have really what's building up to be a state-of-the-art facility there. So I'll show some videos on my computer and whatnot to those that want to see it later. We'll also share some links to our Facebook and our webpage and stuff. But it's a modern facility. It's only been built in the last about 4 years. We have a number of scenario-based training rooms that mimic real-life environments. We have a emergency vehicle operation track. There's 2 tracks in all of Alberta. One's the Calgary Police Service, and the other one's us. We have our own firearms range, where on this particular course we would do all the shotgun-related training. We have the company that makes tasers also makes body cams, and they make a bunch of other things. We issue body cams to all of our course candidates. One, because it's a good possibility you'll end up having them when you get deployed out into the field as operational officers. But we also use them in our training now to provide real-time feedback. When you do various scenarios and stuff, you'll be able to go back and see what your actions looked like and how you responded to that scenario from the viewpoint of the person that you were working with. So it's really kind of neat technology. It's cutting edge as far as training goes. And that company, Olcn, we've also got virtual simulators. So we can put you into a virtual reality type setting. And if anybody's a gamer, you're probably familiar with what VR is like. But we can run you through a bunch of scenarios using the virtual reality as well. The course is licensed from the province of Alberta. And what that means is the ministry that's responsible for policing in Alberta, Public Safety and Emergency Services, they create the course. They create all the curriculum and says all of the peace officers that work in the province of Alberta have to take these different modules. That's going to include covering law and how the law applies to the role of the community peace officers. There's going to be a class on human relations, which is, how we communicate with members of the public and what's expected in regard to that. We're going to touch on multiculturalism, so, including, obviously, there'll be a lot of focus on First Nations related stuff for this class, but it's also going to be important to touch on some other ethnicities and religions and stuff as well, because what happens is when you graduate from this class, it's not just that you can work in Onion Lake. I'm sure the goal is absolutely to work in Onion Lake, but it does certify you to really work elsewhere in the province of Alberta in many years' time or whatnot, if circumstances lead you to a different place. So we try to provide a degree of consistency across the province on how all the officers are trained, so they can be a little mobile with their employment. And so Kyle, he would know that somebody that took our course 2 years ago, as an example right here, would receive the same training that the people in Onion Lake are. So if there was a desire at some point to have any external hires, you would know what they're coming as far as training goes, and vice versa. We also do report writing, note taking. A big part of the course is based on use of force, so how to and when to appropriately use any force. So we go through all the handcuffing techniques, we go through defensive batons, ground fighting, strikes, how to disengage from altercations if you end up in one. We OC spray. So OC spray is also pepper spray. That's the common name to it. So peace officers do carry pepper spray as a defensive tool. Outside of that, we do a little bit of drill class. So as far as marching and what you see, not to the extent that the RCMP do it, but we provide a base level of drill. So upon your graduation, you look all fancy in your uniforms and doing a nice parade for your friends and family. And aside from that, we have a number of guest speakers that come in as well, and we cover things such as how to work with EMS, mental health for first responders. So, as a first responder, if you go to bad car accidents or you end up at a place where somebody's deceased and whatnot, that can have an impact sometimes on how people are feeling about those situations. So we, from the start, try to build some resiliency on how you can, cope and deal with those things in a healthy way. We also then have our emergency vehicle operation course, which is a week-long course where you learn how to drive lights and sirens and how to safely maneuver your vehicles. And we have a shotgun course. It's a week-long course as well, which is used primarily for how to dispatch animals, which is, sometimes you're going to come across injured or sick or aggressive animals that need to be dealt with. So anything on the course side? So the benefit we have here is we have somebody that took the course last year with us. So he's a great resource for things that I'm not thinking about that, he can speak to. But the way it works is you go in as a cohort. So all of you are going to be in class together, which means you're also going to all live together. So we have a dormitory. It's kind of more like hotel accommodations now than anything else. So everybody's got a room. The rooms all have their own bathroom. There is shower rooms, so not every room has a shower. Actually, none of the rooms have a shower, but there's shower rooms with individual shower stalls. There's TVs in every room. There's a common area that has pool tables and foosball and kitchen where you can, make all your meals and those sorts of things. At the training facility itself, we have a great lunchroom. It has everything you need from microwaves to fridges to stove and so on. Maybe you just want to speak a little bit on the course?
So yeah, if you go to Lac La Biche, You'll be in a cohort together. You work together as a team. By all means, when you go to scenarios, you're going to be with, who knows, anybody in your class. And so it creates this dynamic where sometimes, you get along with certain people, and then you're just like at work. You get along with some people you don't get along with, right? So you got to build that rapport with each other, understand what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are. And so it really replicates that understanding of like how you're going to work in the community, right? And so, but keep in mind, this is 12 weeks. 12 weeks you're doing your PT training, you're going to be doing your coursework. It's a lot of stress. You're going to be tired throughout the whole program. But that being said, there's nothing like it. And once you're out in the field, it's very different, right? In the sense that ideally you're not going to be in such elevated state all the time. But it is a very good program for getting you exposed to what to expect in community, right? A big part of it is also time management, understanding what to recognize in yourself when you're stressed, right? So when you get into a high elevated situation, recognize that in yourself and try not to panic, right? So of course, in certain situations, you a lot of times you go to a call, you'll never know, it'll be your first time getting exposed to somebody in the community, or maybe it's not from your community, or a certain situation that you've never dealt with, right? So a lot of it is improvisation and figuring out what to do with quick heuristics and decision-making processing, right? So as Chris mentioned, all these courses, they're all slotted out, and they're in a way that basically effectively helps your brain process it. You'll do a lot of movement, and then you'll go to class, and do some book stuff and do testing and all that. But you could work together. The instructors are really good at helping you get to that level. Essentially, throughout the program, if you do fall below the kind of like say you fail a test, you'll get an opportunity to write it again, and they'll see where you're like, okay, where do you need help with, right? To elevate you to that level. So it's not just like, you failed testing, you're kicked out. There is opportunities for you guys to succeed, and they'll help you as much as you can if books and reading is not your strong suit. And keep in mind, you're a team when you're in that facility, so you help each other in understanding the material, how to navigate through the scenarios, whether it's fitness, all that aspects to it. It's all about working together. So I think that's the biggest part to it, is really building it together. No one's an individual unit, so if that makes sense.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, we do want to emphasize, the instructors, they're there to see you succeed. So we take every effort that we can to try to get you through the course and be successful. And the biggest thing is attitude, right? If you are trying hard, our instructors will see you're trying hard. Where they won't have a lot of tolerance is if you're giving up on yourself, it's tough for them to help you further, right? So if the willingness is there and you want to keep pushing through, they'll absolutely work with you to get you through. The other piece is the weekends are yours. So we run basically a Monday to Thursday. They're 10-hour days. So I'm not going to lie, those 10-hour days are probably more like 12-hour days, and sometimes maybe even a bit longer. But so they are pretty intense, but the weekends are yours. You are absolutely welcome to stay. You have your rooms, and many people do. But Onion Lake's also not really far from Lac La Biche, so that, if you have a desire to go visit your families, or your families come visit you, you're absolutely permitted to do that. You're not locked away from the rest of the world. So, yeah. Steve, is there anything you wanted to add?
I'm not much of a talker. How's everybody doing? Good so far? So I was hired to create this program, the Peace Officer Program, and I gave you just a very quick rendition. I was with the Edmonton Police Service for 25 years, and then as a peace officer, 13 or so. I started when I was 2, just kidding. And I know Kyle wants me to talk about some things. The class that you're going to take, that 12-week course, when I started with EPS, it was 4 months. And I've got to tell you, it was the greatest 4 months. It was a lot of work, but it's so rewarding, and you'll bond. You'll have friendships that last your entire life from that class. So if you can get there, it's amazing. And then you'll love the work after that. So in the end, I was hired to create this program. And I'm not just going to... I'm going to make sure the vehicles are equipped properly, that you're going to have your bulletproof vest, and you're going to have a nice uniform with a nice shoulder flash, and there's nice decals on the side of the vehicle. But I'm also here if you have questions. I have a tremendous amount of experience. I was even with security for 14 years at Commonwealth Stadium working for the city of Edmonton. So I've got kind of experience in all three levels of this safety in the community. So you're not just going to come out here and go out onto the road you'll have great training from these guys, but as they said, it's different when you get out on the street. So if you're having problems, if you're having issues, if you're not sure of something, you can call me. Now we're going to hopefully have 4 senior officers that'll also be out on patrol with you, but any questions you may have, I sleep from 10 till 8, so try to keep it in between that. But if you have questions, and even today if you have questions, I'm available for that. I'm going to be part of that whole mentoring system. Let me know if I missed anything. Okay, so I'm glad to see so many people out. I hope it's exactly what you're looking for. After 35 years of law enforcement, I still love going to work every day. So I think if you get in there, it'll be awesome. Do you have anything to say?
Yeah, I guess just on my behalf, I want to thank Lydia and her team for taking on this initiative and helping us recruit some applicants. Just so everybody's aware, this isn't a pilot project. This is going to be a career. We Chief and Council want to see community safety as one of our priorities, and this is our first step. The long-term goal is to actually get into tribal policing. I guess no disrespect to RCMP, but I think Onion Lake as a whole, even just our members, want to see our own tribal policing down the road, right? Because RCMP have a mandate to help communities outside Onion Lake within their jurisdiction. But if Onion Lake created their own tribal police, then we could focus on just Onion Lake initiatives, right? So that is the long-term goal, but to get there, we need to prove ourselves to the judicial system. And by that, we're doing the first step, level 1 peace officers. But you guys seen that SUV outside? Those are the units we'd be driving in. Like, it would be a full-fledged peace officer program. And just so we're clear, Chris is the program itself, the schooling part, and Steve is the operations. He'll be the main guy that'll be leading the charge on this operations. So we're just implementing some policies and sending in applications, making sure that both provinces recognize us as the authorized employer, Onion Lake Cree Nation, that is. And we're just going through all those processes right now. And it should be in place hopefully around Christmas time, the application approvals and all that stuff. And then we got the program starting in November and hopefully be wrapped up by February, March. And then we push this operations full-fledged April 1st, starting the new fiscal year. So yeah, just wanted to make sure that reassurance was there, that there is jobs that will come out of this right after school. And like Steve alluded to, we'll be bringing in some veteran peace officers to kind of be those supervisors, to be that mentorship, right, for our new graduates. This way, no one's just throwing in their greenhorn and, not knowing what to do. There'll be some oversight there and definitely some good people that'll be coming in.
Even as a police officer, even as a police officer, you get your 12 weeks or whatever, or 15 weeks or 16 weeks. The minute you go out in the street, you're put with an experienced officer for 6, 8 months, sometimes even a year. The Mounties do the same thing, that they have an experienced officer with a new fellow or girl, so that they can mentor you and make sure that you get off on the right foot. And we're going to make sure that happens for all of you, because I'd love to see it to the point where you all come here and you're here for a couple of years and you have a great time and help the community. So thanks. Anybody else want to talk?
So one thing I want to say is it's possible that not everybody's going to be successful in getting into this first class. And if somebody's not, and this is something that you want to continue to aspire to, we're here to help and support that, right? So as far as the Law Enforcement Training Center is concerned, we don't see the relationship we're building with Onion Lake as a one and done sort of thing. And to be quite honest, as the program evolves, some people, there will either be growth or there'll be some attrition. Some people may move on to other things. There'll be a need over time to bring more people into the program, right? So, opportunities, just like every other job, will come up as vacancies occur. And particularly as the nation, as it gets its foundation behind it in its quest to get into tribal policing, there's a number of opportunities that will emerge from that as well. And we actually don't just service community peace officers. We provide all sorts of law enforcement training to bylaw officers, police officers. It just depends on what the specific needs and courses are. So one of the things is, for whatever reason, if somebody didn't get to where they want to be now, please keep reaching out to us and talk to us, and we're more than happy to lend guidance and mentorship as you pursue your career. A lot of peace officers get into the peace officer program with the hope of transitioning up to being police officers. And I would say probably half of the ones we train go within a couple years up to being police officers. So there is a pathway and a pipeline for those things to happen. But you've heard all of us talk. Questions. Is there any questions out there that people have, either about what specifically Onion Lake's hoping to do, what training looks like, kind of what the next steps are? Any questions? Oh.
Do you have extra mic or no?
You can shuttle it.
Will we be getting tased and sprayed?
See if you can hack it.
I have good news and I have bad news, my friend. Yes, you're going to get sprayed. And you're likely not going to get tased. We do have the tasers. The CPOs presently aren't authorized to carry the tasers. Now, in Alberta, it looks like that's going to change. But like most things in the government, it takes a little bit of time. So possibly, but definitely going to get sprayed. And the reason we spray, I'll tell you the reason we spray. So I've used OC spray actually in the field maybe 5 times in my 20 years that I was on the street doing law enforcement. And more often than not, the officer ends up getting cross-exposed with the OC spray, or your partner sprays you when they're trying to spray somebody else. So it's really important for 2 reasons. One, to understand what you're about to put somebody through, what its limitations are, because it's not, for some people, there's in a class of 30, it's not rare that 1 or 2 would just wipe it off and have no impact on them. Other people look like they're having labor of a young child, but it's it's not a fun experience. But I promise you, when you look back on your training and you look back at the photos and whatnot, we actually bring in a photographer on that day, because that's going to be a memory that you'll have for life. And the other piece is, we want you to know that if you do get sprayed, because there's lots of people out there carrying around bear spray and stuff like that, you can live through it. You can fight through it, right? So we're gonna help you with that piece. But there's some apprehension some people have around it, but it's actually, I'm not going to say it's something I want to do regularly, but it's a good one-time experience. Anybody else? Olcn. I know there's got to be at least a couple more.
Don't be afraid.
Yeah.
Someone else is probably thinking the same question.
So, first of all, I'd like to welcome you guys to Onion Lake. So, with this peace officer thing, it's provincial, you're saying? Okay, so with the units you guys provide, and in the near future, they will have units here. And my question with that is, like say with driver's license, it's obviously Saskatchewan here, right? Is that going to be an issue, say for like me to transfer into Alberta, or for insurance or anything like that?
No, good questions. So the way that the program's going to be set up, and this a big part with Steve, but we'll work with Steve and Kyle on this, is what we're trying to do is to have an agreement where Saskatchewan and Alberta recognize all components. So they recognize all of the Alberta training as Saskatchewan equivalent and vice versa. So your Saskatchewan driver's license is absolutely fine on the Alberta side of the border. We're really trying to make it so it's as efficient as possible. There's a couple of things that we are trying to work through is the radio networks, for instance, right, is the Alberta RCMP are on one radio network, Saskatchewan RCMP are on a different radio network. The one that's really going to matter, though, is Onion Lake RCMP, because that's who you're going to be interacting with most frequently. And they're sitting on the Saskatchewan radio network. So there might be a case where you got a couple radios in a car, which isn't abnormal. Like in Lac La Biche, for instance, when we go take a look at our patrol car out there, well, I have two separate radios in the car, and one of them is specific to like county fire and those guys.
So what is the ultimate deadline? What is the ultimate deadline to accept applicants?
Good question.
Great question. Thanks, Kyle. So, as we mentioned, ahead of November 24th, there's a bunch of steps that we have to check off the list. So, I would say we're at the point where anybody that's seriously considering to pursue this opportunity that's in front of you right now, the first step is to fill out the application form. And we have copies of them here today for anybody that hasn't already filled one out. And if there's anybody online or that hears this later, please, reach out to Lydia at Employment Training. And they'll be able to connect you with the right forms as well. Following the reform, we then need to give you a letter that authorizes you to go get a criminal record check with vulnerable sector at the RCMP detachment. That can be done today. Anybody that's here today that's going to proceed, I actually suggest you come up at some point and connect with us, and we'll give you that letter that you can take over to the Onion Lake RCMP to get that process started, because it can take at least a few weeks sometimes quick, sometimes.
If you guys do it today, then you can get it next week.
Okay.
Every Wednesday is this criminal record check day, okay?
Okay. So what I'm going to say is, in order to get everything that we need to do, because we also need to get a driver's abstract, we request transcripts, we request a resume with cover letter, and ultimately a reference letter. And don't let any of that intimidate you. If you have questions about any of those steps, connect with employment, or again, you can contact us. I'll leave contact information as well. We're not here to create barriers to you pursuing the opportunity. We're here to support you and make sure we're checking off the necessary things. There's a good chance that there may be more interest than there is seats available in the course. One of the things that we always do, and actually we're required to do with the province, is we're going to have a short screening interview with anybody that provides, once all this information that I just talked about is provided. What we'll do is, okay, we do a quick review of that, and we're like, hey, everybody has what they need. We then do a quick screening interview that we'll do in conjunction, likely with Steve and a member of the nation, perhaps Lydia or somebody from the team. And that will help us just understand a little bit about who you are and why you want to be part of the program, any concerns that you might have with it. And it's really just to make sure that the suitability is there.
With that cover letter, what we're asking for you guys to do is, why is it that you're interested in this program? Okay, why do you want to get into this program? That's the cover letter.
Yeah, and you know, I really do want to reinforce what Kyle had mentioned. It's not just a job; it's a career opportunity, and you know, they're well-paid positions. Like, are you going to get rich being a peace officer? You won't get rich being a peace officer, but you are paid every bit as well as you know, any government worker is, and they command good salaries, which provide a good quality of life usually. Oftentimes shift schedules are flexible too, and that, what I mean by that is lots of jobs work 5 days on, 2 days off, 8-hour shifts, right? I think there's a good chance that this probably has a shift work schedule that will look something more like a 4 days on, 4 days off, or a 4 on, 3 off or something. The benefit of working shift work, you know, sometimes it can have its drawbacks, but you get a lot of time off compared to what you get on a 5-day on, 2-day off shorter shift, which is, for some people, really nice, right? So, you know, it is an excellent opportunity. So, to get all of these things done, I'm going to put a deadline in place.
Check.
Oh, we lost.
This one.
I think
Check.
we're not.
Hello?
Take your turns.
We're back. Okay, well, that's our technical expertise right there. Yeah, don't leave Chan and I in charge of your microphones. So yeah, what I'm saying is, if you have an interest, initiate the first steps by the end of September, because that should give us enough time to process you through the remainder of the steps. If you don't make the September deadline, I think it'd be difficult to get everything done that you need to get done before the course moves ahead. The other thing is, you know, again, if the timing of this doesn't line up for you now, you know, Lac La Biche runs courses throughout the year, and we will be doing so indefinitely into the future here. So I encourage you to seek the opportunity, because the opportunity is open. But if circumstances in your life are such that it doesn't work out yet, there could be opportunities in the future, right? And just so you're aware of that.
Also, I just wanted to add, before I forget, I want to thank the Enforcement Training Center for allowing us to pursue this program. It wasn't a scheduled program designated in their calendar, but again, I appreciate them. And this is to accommodate the Onion Lake aspect. So with that being said, we wanted to implement some cultural components to this curriculum and allowing the training center to understand Onion Lake landscape as well. So this is going to be specifically for Onion Lake tribal peace officers.
And you know what, that's actually a great point. Most of our courses, the way it works is an employer will send 1, 2, 3 people at a time, for instance, up to our course. And for instance, City of Lethbridge has their own police service, and they have peace officers within their police service. They actually choose to send their peace officers all the way up to Lac La Biche's course, which I think is something like 12 hours away from them, as opposed to going to Calgary or Edmonton, where they could take the courses there. And there's a specific reason why they do that, and a lot of it's led around that scenario-based training, trying to give people the best opportunities to understand what they're going to face in the field. But more importantly, what's closer to Onion Lake as far as the community and what it looks like and how it is to work within. Is Onion Lake closer to Edmonton or closer to Lac La Biche? And the answer to it is Lac La Biche is a lot closer to Onion Lake than say being a peace officer in the city of Edmonton is. So there's a lot of advantages there. We're also very enthusiastic to have an opportunity to be able to provide a dedicated class, particularly a dedicated class that's going to serve a First Nation, because we've realized the last couple of years where the communities we support come from. And even Lac La Biche itself is heavily Indigenous. A lot of first off, we have 2 First Nations and 2 Métis settlements that are within our county. We have both Treaty 8 and Treaty 6 within Lac La Biche County territories. And just the county residence itself is somewhere around 25% Indigenous ancestry. So we're very enthusiastic to have the opportunity to be part of this journey with Onion Lake. And to that point, because it is an Onion Lake specific course, we are able to bring in elements to this course specific to Onion Lake that we just don't get to do the rest of the time. So yes, thanks Kyle and Steve for reaching out to us and let us be part of this. I think what we'll do now is give you guys, we've been talking for a little while, so why don't we take like a 5-10 minute break, and then what we'll do, we're gonna do a walkthrough with you guys of what the pair test is, right? So the pair test is the fitness test that we're gonna run tomorrow for those that are ready to give it a shot. It will be something you'll have to do at training. It will be something that you'll have to do to pass training. So we want to give some exposure to what that looks like. Yeah, so we'll give you instructions for what tomorrow looks like. What I would say, have we specified what time we want to start tomorrow? 9, okay. So those that are going to come tomorrow for testing, we're going to start at 9. Please come with what you would use to kind of work out in, either a pair of sweatpants, a track pants, shorts, a t-shirt or a long sleeve shirt, and have your running shoes. And in a few minutes here, we'll give you a walkthrough of what that will look like. We'll give you some tips on how to get through it. Tomorrow, I'm not looking to be like, okay, this is a pass or fail, right? What we're looking to do is let you understand what it feels like, what it's going to be like, where you're starting at, and where you have to get to be able to get through it. And we'll provide some feedback to you at the end of it as to where we think you're at and what you could do to improve your times on the course and get through it. But don't let it be intimidating. We're doing this. We specifically, I'll tell you right now, this equipment, I'm covered in dirt and the equipment's pretty dusty because it's never been moved since it's been set up. This is the first time we've actually ripped it down from our facilities in our gym to bring it here. And we specifically did that to provide the convenience to give you guys the opportunity to see it. The way it usually goes is people have to go travel to go take this test, and the first time they do it is the first time they've seen it, which adds more stress and anxiety and those sorts of things. We're not looking to create stress and anxiety. Again, it kind of comes with that whole approach that we want to take with the nation, which is how do we help you, not how do we stop you, right? So let's break. Yeah, let's break for 10 minutes. We'll come back at 2:30. Oh, sure.
Okay, I need to talk about this, the application process. We have about 21 people so far that showed us interest, that came and told us that they want to apply, but we're waiting for all the documents to come in, and you have, what, like 2 weeks to get everything together, which means criminal record check, vulnerable sector, driver's abstract, transcripts, resume, and a cover letter to go with it, telling us why you want to apply to this. Letter would be good too from somebody that maybe you worked with. I think I will say the first 16 people that applied with us come in the morning, okay, to do a fitness test. Because I don't know who else is going to be applying, and those ones can come in the afternoon. All right? So the morning people, Donovan Little Wolf, Sage Chief, Charlene Little Wolf, Tennille Patagan, Amanda Muskego, Carlise Hill, Shelby Cook, Amy Nastus, Erin Mason, Elizabeth Chief, Tradell Wolf, Carlos Singer, Nathan John, Carlin Wikas, come in the morning for your fitness test, okay? Break time. And applications, whoever didn't apply yet, go in the front.
Is it like 4 to 12 and then 12
The first, right, I just said the first
Okay,
up to here, yeah. Can come in the morning, okay? Oh, the transcripts? Check at the school. Some people might have it, some people might not.
What about others that don't show up? Others that don't show up?
Well, they wouldn't have that. So it's very important for everybody that applied.
Because I know there's someone in there, Erin, she just decided she was going to go to college.
Okay, well, that changes.
But you should probably just call her first.
There's a lot of people, like I said, majority, 21 people, and there's only 19, 18 selected, right? So, if you need to take that into consideration, but watch what they do first.
I was gonna ask, what did they give you, the criminal check or the bonus check? Both. They gave it both? Yeah. Okay. Then this I can do today.
Okay, yeah.
And after that, I'm.
Mic check. Mic check. 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 1, 2. Very good. Okay. We're gonna do this. Check 1, 2. Hello. Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2. Turn it on. Is it on? Test it.
Test.
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 Test. Test.
Test.
Test.
Oh, it's working.
I got this one. We can do both mics at the same time. Now it's over. check. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. 1 2. Check. Mic check. Check check. Check check. Mic check. Mic check. Mic check. Check. There you are. I can hear you a little bit there. Hey, how's it going out there, everybody? We got a little break going on here. Still at the round hall here with everybody. Hello. Check. Check. Check 1 2. There we are. Hey, how's it going there, everybody out there in Indian country? Just hanging out here at the new round hall. We're there, are facilitating a. Let's get into the program here. Pathway to Tribal Policing Community Forum and Program Launch. So it's a program launch, brought to you by Onion Lake Employment Training and Careers, Community Peace Officer Induction Program, Career Opportunity Approach. Come and explore training, career placement, and opportunities in law enforcement for Onion Lake members. Open to all Onion Lake Cree Nation community members and residents. Learn how this introductory training program can prepare you for a rewarding career in law enforcement right here in Onion Lake Cree Nation. This special forum is for you to hear how you can become a part of the first group of trained peace officers helping pave the way to our very own tribal police service in Onion Lake Cree Nation. So look at that, man. That's going to be awesome, you know. So whoever comes out and does the training, you can be our very own tribal police service here in Onion Lake Cree Nation. That's going to be a first, you know what I mean? You only see that in movies. This special forum is for you. Or no, I already said that part. A new path for our people. Training today for the officers of tomorrow. Join the action. Attend this forum today. Today is September 17, 2025, 1 to 5 p.m. So it's not over until 5 p.m. There's coffee here. There's a beautiful HP computer up for grabs here as a door prize. Man, come on out. You might get that computer. It says here tons of door prizes, but I see a beautiful computer out there. For more information on this, I do believe they said they touched a little bit about tomorrow being a sign up, and you go through the obstacle course. As you can see here, there's a few things laying out there on the hall floor. There's steps there. There's some pylons laid out. You know, there's a little obstacle thing. There's a limbo rod there. You're gonna play limbo. They got a mat laid out there, so just in case you fall down. But I mean, for more information, if this is something that intrigues you, man, get a hold of Onion Lake Cree Nation Employment Training and Careers Office at 306-344-1001. 306-344-1001. Talk to Lydia Lewis or whoever's answers the phone at that time. They should have the information for you at the Employment Training and Careers Office. This is awesome, man. Alberta Law Enforcement Training Center is here. They got 1, 2, 3, 4. They got the RCMP members here. There's a few of them here. There's some. They had just finished up a forum here. They had a little bit of Q&A, and I think they're going to taking a break, a little health break, and they're going to go into a demonstration on the obstacle course that they have laid out here. So it's going to be a good thing, ladies and gentlemen. If you're around, if you're tuned in right now to Onion Lake Cree Nation 7 Gen live streaming, you can, if you can hear me out there right now, come check it out. New Round Hall over by um, the East Side store out in the field there. It's a beautiful facility that just opened up a couple weeks ago. Oh man, this place is awesome. It's nice inside, nice and cool. Air conditioning works beautiful. Man, this place is sweet. The finishing on this place, man, it looks like they put some good effort into this building. I like it. I like the way it is laid out. If you haven't been in here yet, come check it out. This is a beautiful facility. Come check it out. Come sign up for, tribal police, and hope to see you here. We're kind of just hanging out here as people are kind of hanging out and doing what people do, mingling, getting coffee, going outside for a health break. Oh man, you got to be here. Got to be here to check it out. Tomorrow morning, there's going to be a suicide prevention or a suicide awareness walk starting from Chief Taylor School, starting at 10 a.m. Suicide awareness, Chief Taylor School, 10 a.m. So if you want to be a part of that walk, head over to Chief Taylor School around 10, and it's going to end at the Silver Teepee with all the spoons on it right in front of Kiheo Whetstone. And that's going to be followed with a bunch of food and drinks, smokies, hot dogs, fruit, veggies, juice, water. There's probably going to be coffee. There's going to be a grill on site. There's going to be people cooking, gazebo going on there. We are going to be set up there with Onion Lake 7 Gen live streaming. It's going to be awesome. Oh. Let's have a look here. People are saying can't hear anything out there. Can you hear anything? Let me have a look here.
Okay, to do a fitness test. Because I don't know who else is going to be applying.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me out there? I think we can hear it just fine on YouTube. I don't know about Facebook. I gotta get this back out there. So if you guys are out there, let us know if the volume is out or if you can't hear anything. Just give us a shout here. Give me a message. 639-883-0122. If you can hear me on Facebook and YouTube, let us know. If you can't, 639-883-0122. My name is Brian, part of Onion Lake Cree Nation 7 Generation live stream, live from the New Round Hall over on the east side of Onion Lake. I do believe it's okay. Like, I can hear it fine on my end, but apparently there's people out there that can't hear it. Maybe they're in a poor connection zone or something like that. Let's see. If you're tuned in right now to Onion Lake Cree Nation 7 Gen live streaming, if you can hear me out there right now, that's me on YouTube, so I'm doing good, I think. But I mean, just let us know, everybody. Let us know if you can't hear, then we'll do our best to accommodate you, the viewer out there. We'll do our best to accommodate all that. And we will be back shortly. Test, 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 test. What are they doing now? What's the next step? What is the next step? You're the next contestant on The Price is Right. The thing is phrase.
We're about to get things underway here. Phrase.
We got both mics going at the same time. We're good. I do believe they're going to be going through the obstacle course here after the health break.
That indeed, and the one going to be instructing that is none only than Boot himself.
Brian, please, Brian.
He'll show you guys how to run it in under 3 seconds.
Gonna need about 5 minutes.
5-minute warm-up.
Warm-up time. I think, Lydia's gonna give it a try. Hey, Lydia. Atta girl, atta boy girl.
Yeah.
We can use both microphones there, young fellers. We got both of them on the go here.
Perfect, thank you.
Oh, it's on green? Oh, okay. Thank you.
Okay, everybody, what we're going to do is we're going to do a walkthrough to show you what that fitness test entails. So again, it's called the PAIR test, and the PAIR test was actually initially created by the RCMP, and up until last year, that was the test that you had to do in order to get into the RCMP from a fitness perspective. Now, there's an entry level time within the RCMP, and then there was a graduate from depot, their training academy time, and those two times were different. For us, it's just the entry level time. You know, if you can hit the entry level time, that's going to be sufficient. And our goal tomorrow is just kind of see, okay, where are you at, how far from that time, and what do we need to do to help support you to get there over time. So with that in mind, why don't everybody just follow us, and we're just going to do a walkthrough to show you what the course itself looks like. So the course itself has two components. Actually, I'll call it three components. So it starts with 6 laps through an obstacle course, which we'll walk through here in one sec. After the 6 laps are done, you end up over at this station, and we'll give an example of this too. This is called a push-pull station, and it's to simulate being in a fight where you're pushing on somebody, you're pulling back. And then the third piece is a bag carry, where you pick up the bag and you walk around the pylon. We're going to walk you through what this looks like right now. It is a little tougher than it actually looks. I know when you hear 6 laps and you see the distance, the reality is this: people that are in really, really good shape are tired and coughing at the end of this, and then people that are just barely passing it are also tired and coughing at the end of this. So it's meant, regardless of what condition you're in, to just push you. So, you know, there's no embarrassment behind people being tired and behind coughing and stuff like that, because nobody does it without coughing and being tired and those sorts of things at the end.
You hear about the PAIR cough.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like
we call it the PAIR cough.
Like after you finish it, you'll be coughing for like a little bit, like, you know, 10 minutes, you'll be like having a bit of it, you know.
Your throat's dry.
Yeah.
So the way it goes, my friend here is going to show you. You don't have to run. We can briskly walk through. So here's the start line. So we say,
Once you cross the cone.
Use your mic.
Yeah. So once you cross the cone, the time starts. So once I cross this cone, okay, I'm going down this way. Then you want to go around this cone, and then you're going to go straight. There's see the mat there? That's a 5-foot jump. So if I go up to it,
You guys can come up this way if you want.
if I clear where the tape is, I'm good. But there's penalties. So for example, if I hit this cone and knock out of place, then the facilitator will tell you, oh, you got to put the cone back. So that's the penalty. So there's no time penalty other than you have to put the cone back. When you go up to this, if I step on the line and then kick off, that's a penalty, right? So you want to get as close to the line without touching it, okay? So I think it's a 5-second penalty on this. So you want to clear it. Once you clear it, you're going to go around this cone. Once you go around this cone, you're heading for the stairs. So these stairs, there's about, 5 steps up?
Yeah, 5 up.
So 5 steps up. Just a tip, if you're gonna use every single step, it's gonna take more time, right? So what I recommend, I go up, you have to touch the top step. You can't, if you have really long legs, you can't just like all the way up here, you know? So you have to touch one step here and touch the top step. So you can use all steps if you want, but that's gonna take more time, right? So usually I touch one up, touch here, and you can use the railing too, right? Go around this cone. You could go backwards. You could go around like this, and you had to go back up again. Touch, touch, back down. Now you come around this cone. Again, don't touch it, but you want to get close. If you take too wide, you're taking too much time, right? So come close. You got 2 hurdles. So it's about 10 feet apart, the hurdles. And if you touch it like that. Sorry, a little noisy. That'll be a penalty, but you don't have to fix it. The facilitator will fix it. So that's about what, 2 seconds? A 2-second penalty if every time you hit a hurdle. And the hurdles, it's gonna get you when you're starting to get tired. They're not high, but once you get tired, your technique gets bogged down, right? So you really want to, and you have to jump it. You can't just do this, right? Both of your feet have to be off the ground when you jump the hurdle. So I come up, just like a leap like that. It's fine. You go around this cone, and the first, Chris, correct me if I'm wrong, the first one you land on your belly, on your front. So you just have to clear this. If you're really good at jumping and you jump over it without your hands, wow, amazing. But all you have to do is clear it. So clear it, chest, like your chest on the ground, get up, and you go back around the cone again. So again, you do another lap, around, clear, go around, up, down, around, back up, around the cone, up the hurdles. And the second lap, you're gonna go on your back, okay? On your back and up, and you go into your third lap, okay? So the facilitator, they'll tell you, oh, this is your first lap, this is your first lap, on your stomach. And they'll tell you as you go. So when you're doing this, as you can tell, I'm already out of breath. And that was one a little bit faster, right? So it will really start to gas you out, but you want to pace yourself, okay?
Yeah, do not go as fast as, like, unless you are pretty confident in your endurance. Like Chan said, you want to pace yourself through the course, because laps 1, 2, 3, you're feeling pretty good, but by 4, 5, 6, you're starting to get tired, right? So don't stress out. I know the first time I looked at this, I'm like, how am I going to remember what freaking pylon to run around and stuff? You're going to remember, because we're going to be right next to you telling you which ones to go around. Well, as you start the pylon, we're going to be like, hey, get up to this pylon. We're like, hey, go there, go across the mat, around the pylon, up the stairs, right? Like, we'll be right there with you. So don't get stressed out about which way to go. We'll try to keep that clear. After your 6 laps,
you're gonna go to the push-pull machine.
Yeah.
So say I cleared this, get off my back here. Don't take your time. A big problem is a lot of people, they're so gassed out here. They're like, I'm gonna take my time to get over there. The time is still going. The time is still going. So if you take 20 seconds here, you're wasting your time, and if you don't finish it, you don't finish it, right? So when you get here, you're gonna do 6 arcs. So that's a lock on there. The weight is what?
70.
So 70. So the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna pull it. So it has this rope here. You have to hold on to the rope. You can't pull on here. Grab the rope, and you can go back.
So sit back. Like, you'll see when he does this, sit back. There's nothing wrong with putting that butt down, because you're going to have to do half arches. So you do 6 of these.
So that's one. So if I go here, or even here, that's not full arc.
Yeah.
I have to go that full
Go.
weave, right? So you see this color here, right? So you see the color here. There's a red, yellow, green. I'm not sure if you guys, if you want to come over and see it. So there's a red, yellow, and green. So when I pull it, the color changes, right? So it goes, oh, there's yellow, and there's a green. Green is good, you're safe. This is a warning. So if you go in there, hey, you got to pull harder. You got to pull harder. And if you go there, you have to restart your whole arc. So in the middle of my arc, if I'm pulling, oh, I'm losing it, there, restart your arc. So you have to reset. So then that's taking more time, right?
So is that only on the 6th lap we do this? Not every lap, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
After the 6 laps, you come do the pole for 6 arches.
6 arcs.
And then after the 6 arches,
So say I did the 6 poles, so I went back and forth. Then they'll say, go on your belly, go on your belly. So you have to go down. Then you have to go up, touch the bar. You just have to touch.
on your back. Then you get up, touch the bar, back, or front, sorry. And then back. That's 4 times, right? And then you go into the push.
So the push, everyone usually agrees it's tougher to do the push.
The push is tougher.
So don't just use your arms. You're doing this, but don't just do that. You want to use your body, right? In a real life fight, you push your body in, right? But you don't want to do this. You don't want your chest on.
Right.
You need to engage your arms, right?
And drive with your legs. Like you'll see, he's pushing in with his upper body, but he's using his legs to power his way around.
So keep pushing in and keep square to it.
Yeah.
The moment you go off, this is going to push down, right? So you want your body in front of it, okay?
Yeah.
Just like, say, football. Football, they're square, you're just guarding. So you do 6 of that as well. So 1 arc, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6, right?
So I'll tell you what. I've seen a variety of people run this. I've seen really big guys that are really strong. I've seen really small folks that are like 110 pounds and 5'2". The reality is the test has different difficulties for different people. So it's not particularly easy for anybody. So what happens is the small light people typically have no problems with the obstacle course and on the falls. The front backs, that's okay. It becomes this that is their challenge and where it will slow them down. But that's okay because they did okay with their time here. And there are some techniques that we'll show you, and some of that's what we're explaining here on the push-pull. So again, when we say pull, like, come over here for a sec. You know, if he doesn't sit down, right? If you're just trying to do that, you're going to struggle. It's not what you want to do. Just this thing ain't moving, right? It's not going to move if you're 200 pounds or 100 pounds or 300 pounds. Sit your butt down so your butt's doing the work, and you just shuffle, just like that, right?
You don't want to cross your legs. If you cross your legs, you're going to trip on yourself, right? So
Yeah, so shuffle.
So that also helps you, say, simulate a situation where, say, oh, someone's in front of you trying to get around you. You're going to have to position.
So the nice thing with the pole, I promise you every single person in this room can get through that pole, right? It's just the technique you got to work on, and we'll work with you on it in getting your butt down. Because the reality is, if this is 70 pounds, I hate to say this, but all of you are over 70 pounds, luckily. You would have a problem if you weren't, right? So just physics being physics, you're going to be okay. Where it becomes a little bit more challenging, and you know, this was my case like 20 years ago when I first had to do this. I was significantly lighter than I am now. This was my nemesis, was this piece here. This is what I had to focus. I could fly around that course. That was not a problem. But you'll see, you know, this gentleman right here, for instance, where his arms are and shoulders are versus where mine are, right? So for me, I'm pushing this pretty much parallel here, where some guys are coming down on it. So depending on how your body's made up, it can be different, but it just comes down to I can't push it all with my arms. I have to lean in with my legs. You use your butt, you use your legs, and you can get through it. Because again, 110-pound ladies that are 5'2", so you know, not much smaller than me, can get through this. So there's a path for everybody to be successful, and we'll work with you on that. The last stage is actually fairly simple. The last stage isn't timed. Once you're done this,
So I did my 6 arcs. I did my pull, stomach, back, then push 6 times. Once I finish my 6th arc, time's done. The time is done. So you don't have to worry. So you get a minute. You get a minute rest, and you go over there.
yeah, so when you come over here, this one isn't timed. It's a simple kind of pass-fail. So what you need to do, yeah, I'm trying to remember how heavy this one is now. 80?
I think it's 80.
So this is to simulate you having to pick up
Someone like
dragging somebody, right?
Someone got hurt, or your partner got hurt, and you're pulling them away from danger. So I'm saying there's a fire.
Yeah.
So when you lift this up, I don't know how many of you know ergonomics for lifting.
Use your legs.
Yeah. So don't do this, right? You're gonna hurt your back. So you want to use your legs. Get your grip, shove your fingers in. Shove it in. Pull it up. Now, the rules dictate you can't put it on your shoulder. You have to carry it like this. Okay. So see where it is? It's above my knees. It has to be above your knees the whole time. The moment it drops below, it's no good. You have to keep it up. Get tight.
Just pull it. I'll tell you right now, if you're carrying anything heavy, and particularly this, pull it in against you and let it sit on your body, right? Like, it takes a bunch of the weight. So you suck it in, and then you just have to walk it around that pylon and back. Yeah.
Take your time or do it as fast as you want. But this is 25 feet one way, around the cone, 25 feet this way. And keep in mind when you get over there, you got to treat it like a person, right?
Yeah, you can't just drop it. You just have to set it down in a controlled fashion.
Control it.
There, you're done.
Maybe not that slow, but like as you would for a person, right? So this part, usually most people don't have an issue with, but the problem is if you lose your grip and you mess up one time, you fail the whole test.
Except tomorrow.
Well, yeah. So
Tomorrow you don't.
But just keep that in mind. Like if you're having issues with this is like eliminator. If you like just drop it in the middle of it, then all the effort that you did there was nothing, unfortunately. But yeah, so that's pretty much the whole course. If you guys have questions or any concerns or want tips for anything, let us know. Or if you want to try something, just let us know. Yeah. So set time, I believe, is 4:45. So 4:45, so 4 minutes, 45 seconds, not 4 hours, 45 minutes, but just want to clarify. So 4 minute, 45, it's definitely, it's meant to be challenging, right? It's definitely hard, but if you get an understanding of it, know where to do the techniques, and honestly, if you got a good pace, but the problem is if you hit every single hurdle or you can't make that 5-foot jump. If you hit, like say every lap, you get a penalty on that 5-foot jump, that's an extra 30 seconds, right? That's a big thing. And you could have the best fitness and you hit that every single time and you could fail, right? You know what I mean? So we'll help you with the technique if you have problems with technique. There's a lot of different strategies about it. But that answers your question? Yeah? Okay.
Like there is a time limit, right?
Well.
This test,
So.
Is this going to happen in Bangladesh as well, an obstacle like this?
So the reality is this. So we want to have you give it a shot tomorrow. If you pass it tomorrow at the 4:45, then that's great. Then we can check a box off. The reality is you have to pass it to get through the course, right? So you run it when you get to the course, and you have to run it to pass the course at that 4:45. What we want to do tomorrow, I'm less worried about the 4:45 tomorrow. I want to see kind of where you're at, where you have strength, and where you need to work on, and see how much gap there is between, because in over 12 weeks in Lac La Biche, because every day you're doing some fitness related activity. We have like some, what we call PT, it's like physical training, built into the week as well, where people do different exercises and whatnot. You will get in better shape over the 12 weeks. There's no question in my mind. So if you're not too far off, there's a good chance you're going to be able to make up that ground behind, one, improving your technique, and two, improving your fitness over that period of time. But it will also be an opportunity to understand just how far away you may be. In some cases, it could be that it's going to take a little bit longer for you to train up to get there. In other cases, you might be close, and some might just pass right away. So we're not looking to say pass fail, you're done here tomorrow, but it will help give us a better idea of where you're coming. So, again, it's not even that it's a requirement for us. It's one of the provincial requirements, and we'll see where it goes.
Well, one thing to add is like a lot of times the first time you do this, you're like, holy cannoli, this is a lot tougher than I thought it was going to be. And when you're actually testing, tomorrow is not a formal test per se. Like we're gonna run you through it, and great, if you get the time, perfect. You know you can do it, right? But the thing is, it's a mental game, right? So a lot of times your lungs are burning. You feel like, oh, I want to quit. Like you're lap 2, you're like, I want to quit. A lot of times it's your mental switch to be like, hone in and be like, no, I'm not going to give up. I'm going to keep pushing through, right? So sometimes you do have the fitness, but it's your mental capacity to push through the obstacle.
I would.
This is where you guys can start your activities, right? Start pushing yourself to get where you need to be.
So, the other piece that's interesting with this test is the more you do it, the more confident you are in it, and the better your technique gets. From the first time I ran this test to the best times I had on it, the difference was probably a minute and 30 seconds. And a minute and 30 seconds doesn't sound like a long time, but on this test, that's a long time. Like, that's a big difference in time. And it was simply, I was probably in the same shape I was the first time I ran it versus the best times I had on it. It just really came down to, I knew better technique. I wasn't afraid of the test. So that's part of what we're hoping to do here tomorrow is the first time you're doing this, I don't want it being in Lac La Biche, where it was like a pass or fail sort of thing, right? So.
Anyone else have any questions about the test or anything about the process? Yeah.
Should be on. It's on.
Would they be able to be practice to practice all of these today?
Yeah, so the gist of it is, we're here till 5 o'clock now. If some people, the one I suspect that most people will probably want to get a feel for is that push-pull machine. So yeah, we'll head on down there. Anybody that wants to, get a feel for what that's like, please, jump in and you'll get a sense of it. Chan there will be over there to help you out with it. Feel free to take a jump over the mat there if you want to see what that's like or whatever it may be. But I'd say at this point, it kind of wraps up. We're kind of done with the formal piece of what we wanted to present today, but we're just here for kind of questions, answers. Anybody that wants to see what like the patrol vehicles are set up like, what type of equipment you're going to be using when you get out in the field, we will gladly show you that. Okay, so we'll be over at the push-pull test. I'll be just floating around here. Please just grab us. Yeah, good. Thank you very much. Thank you. And a reminder, 9 o'clock tomorrow for those that want to have a chance to actually run this. I really encourage you. You should do it if you can.
Basically, if you want to test anything or...
I'll wait till tomorrow.
Yeah, you can wait till tomorrow. There's no pressure. If you want to see the patrol vehicle, it's outside too. If you want to know like what kind of equipment there is or anything about the job that you're curious about.
How we think things went. We'll have a conversation.
plan, but it's an
Something, right?
It's a gateway.
Yeah.
in a
So
sense.
I would say like if you want to get into security, is a good way to start. A lot of peace officers they start in security.
I'm
get-
a certified
Okay.
security guard.
good.
Yeah.
And how long have you been doing it?
I've only ever worked the security for our powwows.
Okay.
But right now I was initially supposed to get into security work. But I was offered this program, so I went for it, and I'm excited for it.
Yeah, and there's a big push for like more women, especially like First Nations women, to get into it, and like it's good representation, especially when an officer comes to another like a girl or another woman. You feel more comfortable than say a man in a uniform coming up to them, right? So while right now you might not feel like I don't know if I'm ready, think about okay, I'm gonna work on my fitness, or I want to maybe study a little bit more, or even just get more comfortable with talking to people is a big thing, right? So like, if you don't mind me asking, like, how old are you?
I'm 26.
You're 26. Okay. So when I just became a peace officer, like
Yeah.
I'm literally like 32. So keep in mind, it's just because you feel I'm getting older, I'm not sure if I can, get there. You can. Like, you just have to believe in yourself and then motivate yourself and say, okay, I got to build my confidence to do this. And then when you try these things, you'll know, okay, how does it feel when I'm doing these things? Oh, if I'm doing the stairs, I feel like I need to be better at stairs. There's stairs everywhere that you can practice on, right? Or say you want to jump over that, or like a lot of this is like practicing like push-ups or something like that, or like pulling something, right? And you could do that with like even with your friends. If say, hey, can I try something with you, or like work?
Yeah.
So a lot of times it is very daunting, of course, right? And it's getting you out of your comfort zone. And for the whole time during training, you're going to be uncomfortable, but it's meant to make you grow, right?
Yeah.
Because you're not going to grow
The
with
only thing that makes me uncomfortable is that it's live.
Is what?
The whole community can hear.
Oh, that.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's live.
Yeah, and ignore that. Ignore
Yeah.
that. But otherwise, like, yeah, get into security work and then like see where you're at, right? And at the end of the day,
CPR is a lot higher than what I had in mind.
yeah.
But I think
And I think a lot of people don't know about it.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people think, oh, it's just security and police.
Yeah.
And police is even more daunting, right? You have a gun and all this stuff. Whereas a peace officer, it gives you a little bit exposure to like what it's like without you get a shotgun, but the shotgun is not for people. It's
Yeah.
for dispatching animals. Say
Yeah.
if a deer is injured, you're helping it and like basically not suffer anymore, because
Yeah.
it just takes resources to move it. And unfortunately, when a deer gets hurt, it's very hard. Like there's no resources to help it, unfortunately. And so it's a nice way to train yourself in that way, right? To understand all the dynamics of that.
Well, the thing too, like why I agreed with the CPO program is because, in a sense, I kind of feel like people would take more serious. Yeah, and that's kind of what.
And you take pride in it, right? And people in the community will start to see you and recognize you more with the uniform, and they'll be like, oh, that's my aunt, or this is my auntie or my uncle or whatever, right? Especially in like, this community is pretty tight knit, right? Like you probably know everybody, right? Or a lot of people, right? You know when someone doesn't belong, obviously, right? So I mean, I don't know how many people are here, but
I think about 6,500 of us.
okay. So it is a lot of people, but you'll get to know more people, right?
Yeah.
And of course, unfortunately, there will be things that you'll see that is like, oh, this person is a regular problem in our community, but you have an opportunity to change their life. They're not something, you talk to them, you get to know them, and say, okay, why are we still here? What's going on? Yeah. Right? So a lot of times, like people look at like police and it's like, oh my gosh, police, I mean, it's true in the history that like a lot of police, they've done a lot of bad things. But at the same time, this is a new program to introduce and provide opportunity for First Nations. And I think it's a really good opportunity for First Nations members to become like leaders in the community outside of like, say, like politics and other things, right? So.
No, I think that I did enjoy this.
Yeah.
I really want to do it, and I have almost all my paperwork.
And I promise you, like, you might not feel like you're ready right now, but you give yourself grace, give yourself time. Take your time with it, right? And at the end of the day, you know, only you can tell yourself how much you want it at the end of the day, right? And you say you just if you find out you actually don't like it, right? But if you know you love it, right? And then you're like, oh, I want more ability.
Yeah.
Then you have to challenge yourself. Right? So it's definitely an option.
Who wants to do the draw in front of the camera with the microphone? Come over here, Shannon. Let's do this live on 7 Gen. Make it official. For an HP computer. And we need somebody to come and hold the computer. And we got Chan. Chan's going to pick a name.
I did not put my name in there. So, who do you think it is? Is it going to be you?
Me? No, I didn't put my name in there.
Okay, let's see. Is everybody in here?
I think everybody's out there.
So the name is Amanda Muskego.
Amanda Muskego, congratulations, winning yourself an HP computer laptop. She's not in attendance right now, but I mean, these lovely ladies right here will get the computer to her. You saw it here on 7 Gen. I think, Chan, you want to, where's the other microphone here? Let's talk a little bit. Let's talk a little bit before you start putting stuff away. Oh, I see.
How can I help you?
Is it on? We got to turn it on.
That's on now.
Yeah. So kind of, you walked everybody through what's going on here. So what's going on next?
So what's going on next is everybody gets opportunity to ask us more questions, whether or not they have questions about the course, whether they have questions about the job. So outside, we do have a patrol vehicle. If you're ever curious about what kind of equipment that you're using as a peace officer, whether it's your radio, your tools, everything that you got in a patrol vehicle, whether it's, the lights, sirens, and all that.
You're going to be covering all that today?
Yeah, all that today,
All that
just
in here.
outside.
Oh,
people are
outside.
outside with the patrol car. In
Okay.
here, we got all the obstacles for people to try. And then tomorrow, we got a trial run. So a trial run for people who want to run the physical abilities.
Where are you doing that?
Right here.
Right
so
here,
all this
and it's-
equipment here
It's going to stay here.
is going to to stay here.
Okay.
And tomorrow, starting at 9 a.m.
9 a.m.?
Yeah, 9 a.m. People can run it, give it a try. If they pass, great. It's a good preliminary step out of the way. You know you can do it. But if you've never done it before and you want to give it a try, give it a go, see how hard it is, and then you know how much you need to do. Lift more weights, run some more, figure out what you need to do.
Yeah. Okay, right on. That's a good show. And outside, they're going through the patrol car with the radios
Yep.
and
Patrol car, all the equipment, whether it's the radio, the lights, sirens, anything to do with peace officers and what we do as within our appointment and our jobs, right?
Right.
So if anyone's curious about that, that's outside. Otherwise, any other questions people have about the program, how to apply, anything in regards to that, you can always ask us questions.
Okay, do you have a card? You got some information to share with the community right now?
Yeah, so we have a website. So if you just Google it, Lac La Biche Law Enforcement Training Center, it'll pop up. LETC is the Law Enforcement Training Center. And so if you click on there, you can see the program, everything that's involved from control tactics, OC spray, which is the pepper spray, strategic communications, all that stuff is online. But with respect to for Onion Lake, deadline is coming at the end of September, right?
Yeah.
So, but if you're interested, got to get your criminal record check, vulnerable sector check, your high school transcript, and all those documents in just for preliminary, right? And then once all those are in, we'll do interviews and get everybody figured out. Okay, is this suitable for you as for a career, right?
Right.
And that program is set to start for Onion Lake in November. So November 25th, I believe Chris said, is a start for Onion Lake. And so it's a pretty exciting program for a lot of people in the community. I think it's a great opportunity for First Nations and First Nations here in Onion Lake
For tribal policing, right?
Yes.
It's awesome, man.
It's the first step to get tribal police here in Onion Lake. And I'm really excited for your community
it's
here.
an excited thing.
It is.
It is.
And there's nothing quite like it when you recognize your uncle or aunt or your son, your brother, whoever it is, put it on a uniform.
Yeah.
And you recognize them and you're like, hey, I know that person, right?
Yeah.
And it's nothing quite like it. So I think it's a new revolutionary thing that's for you guys and your community. And I think it'll be remarkable for you.
That's awesome. Well, you heard it here, man. November 25th. You know, get your criminal record check, your transcripts, everything like that.
Everything in, and
Be ready for
give it a go. And if right now is not a good time for you, you're like, oh, I'm not fit enough. I need to get some upgrade for high school or whatever. That's okay. There's going to be more opportunities in the future as they're developing the program. Right. Everybody knows that for Onion Lake, we want to develop a safer, more equitable community where people can trust each other, create more safety, and everybody can rely on each other and create a stronger community. So if you don't get into the class in November, there's going to be more opportunities to come as we progress with the program.
All right. Thank you for that, Chan.
You're welcome, and looking forward to see you guys in the
We'll be around. We're always around.
Anytime.
Thanks.
I appreciate it.
Right here in Onion Lake Cree Nation, there's going to be Tribal Police Force training November 25th. To get your transcripts, get everything you need to get done, and show up for the training. Awesome stuff. Enjoy what these guys are doing here. There's going to be set up here, and they're going to leave you their equipment set up for the rest of the evening for tomorrow morning, where they're going to be having a trial run. So for you, the viewer out there, come on out, stay out here. Come on out to the Old Round Hall for tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. What do you mean they're static? Like white noise? You heard it here, November 25th. They're going to be going ahead with this 12-week program here at Onion Lake. And it's going to be an awesome one. You got some guys going through the obstacle course. You see that? He's going around the pylon and up and over top. What do you guys think of it so far? Is there volume? Can you hear me? Can you hear me there?
Yeah.
Good now? Check. Mic check. Mic check. Congratulations to Amanda Muskego winning herself a HP laptop computer. Main door prize here today.
Around with stuff, talk to Chris. You can do lots. But if you're done, you're done. As long as you get your application, right? But no matter what you decide to do, I think that your mom will be proud of you. Okay? So, but it's an option. It's an option.
Looks like the side here going through the equipment with the RCMP patrol cars. RCMPs are gone. They must have got a call.
Is it good now? Hello. We're here with Shelby Cook. What are you looking forward to getting into this program?
I'm looking to get into the program so I could help around the community, do pretty much a better job than the RCMB. It takes them like 20 or 30 minutes to get to a call, and we don't really need that.
Are you looking to go to that program in Lac La Biche they're offering?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to go over there. It's going to be hopefully a pretty good experience, but there's only going to be a handful of people that are going to be able to go over there.
Okay, so they're only getting like so much are only going to get picked to go out there? From myself living out in Lac, it's a pretty nice place over there. I think you'll like it over there, all the training and stuff. The community's good. I think you'll like it. We're here with Donovan.
Greetings.
What are you interested in taking this program?
I heard it it improves your skills and make you more better of who you were. I am a peacekeeper, and I want to improve myself to make myself much more improvable and much more better, and increase my skills and become much more better and make my skills and knowledge more higher, and to keep on growing, and hopefully I can help out with this community and do any assistance I can do.
Okay. It's pretty good, pretty good. Are you looking forward to, are you gonna try go to Lac La Biche to try take this course?
Definitely, I am really excited. I am so hyped up. Right now I'm just being nice and calm, but in deep down I'm jumping full of joy. And once I get there, I am going to do my very best and give it like no one ever could. And I will keep on learning over there. I keep on practicing, and I will do my best to pass it no matter what.
Thank you, Donovan. You want to introduce yourself?
My name's Addison Smith.
Addison Smith, are you looking forward to going to Lac La Biche for this program?
Yeah, it's kind of what I'm going with. A year after this, I went to tribal, and then this popped up, so I said, oh, I'm going to do this. And then after this, a year down the line, I'm going to do tribal police. And after that, I was asked, after this program, I can go do Border Patrol in America. So I might go do that afterwards, but yeah, I'm looking forward to this.
So this program is going to be opening a whole bunch of jobs for you, supposedly? Yeah. How do you think about this test you're going to be taking tomorrow?
Well, I'm glad we got to do it once for the tomorrow, but we got to do it 6 more times, and I'm kind of scared because right now I'm exhausted, and I feel like I want to puke.
Okay, that's a good one.